I don't know why so many people are suggesting to use the pink noise method. I tried it. It's complete bullshit. You end up with a weird mix. Trust your ears, trust your experience, compare your music to other people's music. You will eventually end up with a good and balanced mix. The pink noise method is really just for losers.
You're already gone. I can feel it in the air between us.
Hey sine waves, signers or Sination or Telehood, I don't know, I still like all of them. I think I will just use them and over time see which one I like the best. It's, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, I think it's Tuesday morning. It's time for a cup of coffee. I can't show you anything of the kitchen. It looks like a mess and I know Vanessa is watching. Yeah, it's better if she doesn't find out about that. So first up, the really great news. The Romantic Era guys made with their With Two Hands track 97,000 plays in less than a month. That's just amazing. That's like a huge step for new embracing artists having so many plays. And it's so well deserved. The track is so good. I love it so much. And the best thing is they have 3 more tracks that are signed to my label, all same quality. So let's see where this is actually heading to. Really, really happy. They also entered the charts. They actually made spot number 39 on the Spotify top 50 viral tracks in Taiwan for all genres, which is pretty amazing. And also good news for me, my All About track is in the top 200 tracks in Denmark. Huge thanks to all of the people watching from Denmark and supporting this track. It's kind of cool because All About is a year old and that it still enters the charts means, yeah, that the track is good and people like it. And it also means that only a very few people are actually buying tracks on iTunes. I mean, I don't have a reason to blow these things up more than it actually is, because entering the top 200 tracks is maybe like 20, 30, maybe 50 downloads in the past week. But still, great, why not? Also, don't forget you can still download the Brennan Wolf Sounds and Sample Pack down below in the description. My Final Warning track is coming up on Friday, only a couple more days and then it's finally out. And if you've missed yesterday's interview with Tocadisco and the vlog Meeting Tocadisco, check both of them out. I will link them up at the end of the video. Actually, I got also bad news to share today with you. It has to do with my AXSENS label. But first, finishing the coffee, writing a couple of emails to the studio, working a little and then talking about it. Otherwise, I will get frustrated. I just love these scooters. I could drive with it the entire day and do nothing else. But I'm on a mission and that mission is finishing the next track, We Runnin' with Gavin. You know, the last time I worked on it, I tried to mix it, couldn't really get it anywhere. It sounded different, but not really better, so I didn't really share it. Today I will try another approach, something that a lot of people are talking about at the moment. That's actually the pink noise mixing method. It's nothing new. It's actually something that people do already for a long time. I'm not sure if it will actually really help, but it's definitely worth giving it a shot. And for all of those that don't know what the pink noise method is, you basically generate a pink noise that's very easy to do with Logic. You just need to go into the effects section, choose Utility, Test Oscillator. I hate that noise. It's a sine wave, a pure sine wave at 1000 Hertz and it just hurts. So let's switch it to white noise. White noise is basically just all of the frequencies playing at the same time. And then there's pink noise. The difference between the two noises is that the pink noise is actually, I think, as far as I can remember, per octave. The higher you go up, 3 dB less in noise. So it basically sounds a little duller than the white noise. And then basically you use that pink noise as a reference to adjust all of the levels of your elements in the mix. So you start usually with the kick for EDM music. You listen to the pink noise at the same time to the kick. You adjust the volume of the kick so that you can barely hear it. Mute it, go to the next element, for example the snare. Do the same thing and continue with all of your elements in the mix. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I will try it now out and see if it really helps me in any way. No, this method is not working at all. It's complete bullshit in my opinion. I tried it now. I think it might help someone that has absolutely no clue about mixing. For example, I would put someone here in this chair that has never mixed anything, and I would explain him this method and he would do it and mix it to the pink noise. It might definitely sound better than him just doing it by whatever he feels like is right. But if you've mixed 1 or 2 songs already, or you're into music production, which you probably are if you try to use the pink noise method, there are a couple of downsides to it. First of all, you don't want your track at the end to sound like pink noise, like the frequency response of pink noise. It's very flat and pretty boring. A good track is all about your decision how to place those elements, how loud actually to make them. If you want to have a more club track, you need way more bass. If you want a track that is more pop, you might need more mid frequencies. It depends on the elements in your track. If you have a guitar and a vocal, you might end up with a track that just needs to be higher in level in the mid frequencies. And if you adjust it to the pink noise, it's all just mushy, weird. It sounds really not good. And that's only the start of the problems, because the pink noise method doesn't help you to EQ things right, to compress them, to sidechain them, to put reverb on top, to place them in the mix. It's just like adjusting the levels to the white noise. It's so basic, it won't improve your mix at all, except, as I said, if you're absolute beginner and don't have a clue about anything. The method is basically just like listening to another track and compare your track to it, which is like normal A and B testing. That makes way more sense because you can choose a track that is actually close to your track or to whatever you're going for. And the white noise is just like a neutral standard thing that sounds pretty lifeless, especially if you try to make your track sound like pink noise. No, don't do it. I think it's even way worse than trying to mix by looking at the analyzer, because yeah, it's kind of the same. I honestly don't know why so many people make videos about it. Probably because it's a good title, like the method that does all of the mixing for you, pink noise method, whatever. But I think those people have never actually mixed a track, and I can guarantee you that no one of the good mixing engineers will ever use this to make a track. It would be boring, but at the end it's up to you. Try it out, you will see for yourself if it helps or it doesn't. I even think that my match EQ method that I showed you in one of the videos is better than using the pink noise method. It's very sneaky, and I explained in that video that you actually shouldn't do it, but if there's no other way for you and it helps you, then do it. But pink noise, I don't know. No. I think I made my opinion pretty clear on this topic. Let me know what you think about the pink noise method. Is it something you use? Have you ever tried it? Do you think it's really helping you in any way? Let me know. But now, let's get to some proper mixing and advance with the We Runnin' track. Yo guys, it's late. It's past 10. Got some gnocchi, parmesan. Yeah, you know, I love that stuff. I'm all done with the mixing session, which, just 1 second, I need light. Which is of course way better when you just do it with your ears. You just trust them instead of doing some weird method that just doesn't do anything for you basically. And I have to say, probably all of those guys in these videos that recommend doing that are probably people that never ever produced a track, never ever released a track. Maybe just some 12-year-old kid that just picked it up somewhere and made a video about it, or maybe is so bad in mixing that it actually really helps them. I don't know, but yeah, I think at the end you have to figure out a method for yourself how to mix your tracks. This will be part of your sound that will actually shape you as a producer, will give you your style. If everyone starts mixing just to a pink noise, no. Let me drive back home and then continue. Back at home, dinner is ready. I know it doesn't look the best, but as I said, whenever I cook just for myself, food equals energy. And where was I? Oh, yeah, don't trust YouTube videos. I know I do YouTube videos. I know I sometimes do tutorials, but the difference between me and I think a lot of other channels is I base them on what I actually do. So if I show you a video on how to EQ kick and bass, I actually go to the studio, EQ kick and bass, because that's what I would have done anyways. And exactly how I show it to you, that's also exactly how I use it at the end in my track that then actually gets released and hopefully gets millions of plays on Spotify. And it's not only about this pink noise method, it's basically with everything. It's good to watch those videos, get inspired, see some techniques, learn how things work. But at the end, it's important that you just try those things out yourself in your studio and then come to a conclusion if that's really something you should use in your tracks, if it fits to your style, if you actually like the sound. That's actually the one thing I love the most about the future music mag videos, at least the early ones, where actual people would really work on a track. Start a track from scratch. Some of them never got released, they just did them for the videos. Some of them really got actually released, and it was extremely interesting. Now also that is just worthless because it's just Alan Walker's and their co-producers showing how they made their last hit to just promote it. And that's not really how you learn to produce music. You just have to put the hours into it. Sit in your studio, try out things. It's so important, try the things out. That's also what I say in every video whenever I test a plugin. Just download the demo version. You have 14 days or 30 days to test it, and then you know what it's actually doing. Try out every knob. It doesn't matter what it says in the manual. Just listen to whatever happens when you turn that knob. And also with my advice, don't take it for granted. That's how I do things. That's how I do things on that specific track. It might work there in that case. It might not work in your case, in your kind of music. If you do rock music or you're in a band, probably my advice videos won't really help you a lot. It's more about electronic music, to be more specific, my vision of electronic music, what I like. And if you can learn something from that for yourself, that makes me actually really happy. I really like to help people. I also got a lot of help when I started making music. That's the only way you can advance a little faster than just doing everything yourself. And you know, also, for example, instead of showing you how to make the Martin Garrix lead sound, I much rather prefer to show you how you can actually make your own lead sound. And if I might ever do a video on how to make the Martin Garrix lead sound, then only because he is part of the EDM Legends episode and is showing it to you himself. It might take a while until he will show up here, but I will try. I think Tocadisco is already a pretty good start. By the way, if you haven't checked out the video, it's definitely out now. I will link it up at the end of this video. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. Tomorrow another episode. I actually forgot to mention what's going on with my label. I was so carried away by this topic, so we'll just do that tomorrow. I don't know what happened, but there are like 20 police and ambulance cars outside. It's just a building across the street, burning.